What's going on, everybody? I think I had a little bit of a technical issue there. Alright, we got this stuff going live soon. Let me turn this down a bit. Alrighty. What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for stopping through. We're about to be getting some Madden 21 Ultimate Team news. Finally. Very, very excited about this. I know a lot of y'all are as well. Alright, so the actual... Let's see, the actual stream is in 6 minutes. So we got it pulled up here on Twitch. We're ready to go. Let's see. Let me make sure. I don't even know if I got all this crap set up right. I'm hoping we get a lot of overview on... I hope we get enough details so we can know really what to do day one. That's kind of what I'm hoping for here more than anything else. But we'll see, I guess. Alright, let me go ahead and pull up. So I guess just while we're waiting, we can go ahead and go over some of the new cards they went over just beforehand. If y'all didn't see, they gave us a lot. You can see right here, a lot of cards. Y'all let me know, by the way, if the quality's crap or anything like that. Hold on, let me actually pull up chat so I can make sure I'm seeing if y'all say anything. Here we go. The Twitch name? Here, I'll pull it up for you right here. Where the hell are they? Hold on. They're like EA, whatever. I'll have it for you when they go live. I don't know if I'll be able to find it this way. Yeah, there they are. There's EA, Madden, NFL. Pretty easy to find. They're the ones with 241,000 followers. So that's where you can find them on there. Hey, what's up, Carlitos? Hey, Devin. Yeah, no, it's different, man. A little bit different. Here, I'm going to try and have my phone set up here so I can watch the chat. I still don't have a second monitor. We'll get that eventually. Is the audio okay and everything, guys? Y'all let me know if it's not. We don't normally stream on YouTube. We've been doing some streaming on Twitch. We're going to be doing YouTube for a while solely. We got some more stuff. The mic might be a little jacked up. Mango, what's going on, man? Mango, I know you've told me you have a different name on other platforms, so you got to remind me what it is. McCracken, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for stopping by. All right, so I'm not going to go over all these because there's a lot of them. If y'all want to do that, feel free to go check out my Twitter, or I'm sure we'll be getting the Mutthead database soon enough. Oh, hold on. They're tweeting. I just got an alert about a tweet. What are they saying? Okay. All right. They're live, apparently. Let's refresh it and see. Yep, here they are. For those of y'all that are asking about the Twitch name, here it is. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mute this music that I was playing because we don't want to hear all that nonsense when we're getting into the actual stream here. Damn it, I keep closing up the chat. Hey, the accountant, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for stopping by. How you doing? We are just getting ready to get into it here. While we're waiting on that, though, I wanted to go over just a couple of people. I mean, there's nothing too shocking here. Some people were mad about Brady being too low and all that. I think that's fair enough. 84-year-old quarterback, 84-year-old overall rating. That's fair with me. Levante David's he's a pretty good starting middle linebacker day one. He's who I had in Madden 20 for a bit. But honestly, prioritize that speed over anything else. Let's see. Julio Jones getting an 86. I believe Michael Thomas had an 88. So swap those two around in my opinion. But who cares what my opinion is. Audio's good. Thank you, Mango. Sorry, I missed that. Kittle? Where was Kittle? Did we miss him or we haven't gone through him yet? This audio y'all are hearing, can y'all hear the audio, the background music? Because that's going to be the stream audio, and I want to make sure y'all can hear that over everything else. I'll turn myself down a little bit while we're doing that. Where the hell is Kittle? I know he's in here. That's where Tyreek was, so, no, yeah, there he is. 87 overall. I wish I could blow this up a little more, can I? Not really. It stays about the same. 81 speed. These are garbage pictures. I know I posted these. These are not very good. I need to post better pictures next time. Kittle's a pretty solid one, though. Oh, whoops. God dang it. It's going to take me a bit to get used to the YouTube live stuff, y'all. All right, there we go. We should be okay now. You're a Vikings fan? Let's see. Let's take a look at the Vikings. Where were Vikings? I think they were a little bit earlier, if I'm not mistaken. Here's some. Where was I could have sworn what's his name was here. Oh, there he is, Dalvin Cook. So Dalvin Cook's in 84. I mean, that's not bad. That's not bad starting out. Let me just double check. This isn't my music playing, right? Let me turn this. Just close this shit out. Yeah. Okay, that is theirs. I paused it just to make sure I wasn't hearing some other weird background music. No audio. Y'all can't hear that music from the stream? Hold on. Oh, I know what it's doing. I got you. There's no audio to hear right now from the stream. But we're going to put it on so that y'all can hear the music. Actually, that might be about maxed out. We're going to turn this guy up all the way here. There's literally no sound coming from the stream right now. Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear Kralo?
Oh, hey, what's up, Jake? You know, just getting ready for the stream.
Here we go.
And all that kind of good stuff.
I'm going to turn myself down a bit.
How are you doing, sir?
Good, Agent K. How about you?
I'm good.
So
hey,
excited.
I see the chat over here. Guys, if you know what reference to the movie that is, let us know in the chat. Let us also know in the chat, last time that we did this stream from an audio perspective, people said it was a little bit low, so Jake and I were working through some stuff. I'm going to monitor my
let me know if y'all can't hear them
here and there to make
I'm
sure
not going to talk too much during this.
Saying Wall Street. There you go. They got it. So good stuff.
Was that Wall Street? Is that what that was horrible?
Great, Jake. Great to have you here. Many people know we're going to be doing the Mutt live stream. Last year when we did this, it actually was a very long stream. We tried we tried to cover everything. I think that stream, believe it or not, I was running 102-degree fever, which was kind of crazy. But you were a champ, man. You kind of rode it all the way through, and I appreciate your help on that. But today we're going to go ahead and talk about kind of the essentials, like new features coming to Madden Ultimate Team. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the programs, some of the stuff that's already been there, and give a little bit more information just to let people know in the community as well, is that there are going to be probably some videos out there. Community's going to be talking about stuff. We'll be monitoring questions. We got Nat Gibbs behind the scenes kind of getting some questions, and we'll find ways to answer those kind of coming up to launch and also before worldwide launch on August 28th. So all that kind of out of the way, though I also want to mention, guys, we are doing this from home still. We're not in the studio. You may hear dogs, you may see children running around or other kind of things. We will try to restrict as many potty breaks that we do during the stream to kind of stay consistent. But I do want to say thank you guys for showing up, kind of being here. It's been a little while since we've done a stream. But Jake, that being said, what have you been doing in the off season, my friend?
Yeah, no, just even before we get into that, definitely want to thank everybody for tuning in. I know it has been
around. I just want to get into it. Is this going to be 2 hours?
Super excited to get on and talk tonight. Shout out to Agent K and everybody behind the scenes and getting this set up. So thank you very much for having me, community. Good to talk with you again. So question, what's been going on? I mean, a lot, right? Like, nothing's very normal anymore. And so I'm sure we're going to get into that and talk about some of, the specifics and how, COVID has sort of impacted a little bit of, what we've been building this year, and as well as just some of the amazing efforts that continue to happen from the team. Just a lot of, will and desire, and, kind of just, thinking about it, a couple days ago, it's just like, at this point in time, you can't fake if you love this job or not. We've been put into a situation where, you've got to be all in, and, there's a lot of challenges that you got to overcome. And first and foremost,
working from home has been kind of nice.
Making sure that we have
was able to do it
that we need. But really, the team and the camaraderie, all those things really get, challenged, at a time like this, and super proud. Certainly the most challenging, cycle in my 9 years that I've been a part of, but, in a lot of ways, the most rewarding. So, super pumped to get into it.
Yay! Let's talk about Madden. Come on.
So what have I been doing? A decent amount, so it's still obviously very much involved with Madden Ultimate Team, trying to make sure that we're putting together a great story, helping the team and making sure that we're kind of cultivating the right things that we want to go after and prioritization, all that good stuff. But as we've announced, and talked about and started to share a little bit more recently, we have the Yard coming on board, and again, shout out to JP, Clint, so many more beyond those two folks who obviously played an instrumental role in it. But another really big time mode, that's gonna get treated like a live
Ultimate
service.
Team. That's what we're here for.
Thing that's gonna continue to get updates to it.
That's what all the comments
in terms of what you're playing on the field, as well as that vanity story that's coming. So been plugged in a little bit there. Taking on a little bit more of a creative hat over the greater live content project, but. Man, again, super pumped. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, no.
All these answers won't be this long, I promise.
No, it's great. I mean, hey, we're going to get the pre-stream jitters out of our system because we got a lot to cover, and I think at the end of the day, it's I wish I could have like a rolling credit score of all the people that have been working on this. I recently came back and
thank them at the end.
Huge shout out to Kevin and a lot of other people that managed, Chris Conlin out there, who helped me get a PC build. And this is the interesting thing in this climate that players may not understand, but to give you guys a little bit of context is typically in the studio we have an Xbox kit, and I can go over and I can get into a certain kind of environment and I can capture all these images, and now I have to do them on a PC with all this debug text, and we had to find ways to remove that so we can get you guys clean images for social. So like huge shout out to Paige, where she's been tweeting out all the stuff, the top 7 MUT players yesterday, all of the players, like the top 3 for a team.
Like 5 or 6 minutes in, they still haven't said anything.
Literally over the last 3 to 4 days.
They've said a lot, but they haven't said anything.
All I've been doing is in that environment, capturing images, getting that stuff out there, making sure that we were getting the ratings correct as things were still adjusting in that environment. So there's just a lot of dynamics that are very different, but it's been pretty awesome. It's as stressful and as this is. With everyone working remote, it has been great to kind of see how the teams come together. So all those people, I know the live service team is watching, and I really want to say thank you guys for all the hard work you guys have been doing.
Yay,
as well as the gameplay teams, franchise teams, all the teams that are working remote. I know it's tough.
We're 10 minutes in.
But we're going to continue pressing forward. And the number one thing that we want to do from our community side is make sure that we're giving you guys the information as quickly as we can get it and kind of keep you guys up to date. So that being said, people are probably tired of hearing us talk already. But guess what? They're going to hear another hour and a half or maybe an hour of us talking.
There
will be Gridiron notes coming.
About
Stay tuned for that later on. We'll talk about later on the stream.
Yeah, we'll share the notes on Twitter
But we
after
are going
this.
to go ahead and start walking through some things. So Jake, you were talking about kind of creative. You've been heavily involved on the creative side, doing some things, and I know something that you're very, very passionate about is this thing they call card art, or
what's up, Draconian? How you doing, man?
We talk about, and it's something that I know you've been working on for a very, very long time. And I wanted to take an opportunity because you've seen some comments out there from the community. Wanted to kind of paint a picture of what's been being done, because we showed stuff for Madden 20 earlier on in Rookie Premiere, right? But that's just that's really, really early on. We've put together kind of just a new item layout, which I'm going to go ahead and start pulling up right here.
Thank you, God.
And just for those people that are watching this on the stream, Jake and I are going to be referencing probably multiple monitors because we have a full run of show. And when I say run a show, it's like all the information I'm showing you here, Jake has that, so we can kind of follow and talk through that. As we're not completely sharing our screens while we're doing the stream. So what I have right here, Jake, that I kind of want to talk about is the first image that we're going to see is the Ultimate Team. It's called like the Player Item Guide. Walk us through that real quick here. I'm
it's all pretty much the same. Card art looks like trash.
I mean, let's even maybe start a half step back from that, and
sure.
like this was like why did we choose to go after this year? It's been a good probably 4 years since we've really touched what the front of the frame looks like, and one of the things that we really wanted to dig into, and a lot of big credit goes to the art team, our UX folks.
I don't know, what do y'all think? I don't like it.
Just taking what we had and kind of deconstructing it, and kind of noticing all of its flaws that's has been there over the years, and with every year it seemed like we were adding yet another thing to the front of the frame. Last year's example being like the archetype icon, And I kind of joke that, hey, I worked on this game. And,
I get it, but it looks ugly, man.
Saw those pretty much every day, and if you were to give me a pop quiz on it, I would fail it miserably. So more and more things just kind of started to get on there, and so it was our opportunity to go in there and kind of break it down and see, where were some of the misconceptions. We did, UX testing. We also, did our own sort of like self-analysis on it, and we kind of came away thinking, like, again, one, there's way too much that's like on.
It does look better with info filled in.
As well as cool. In some cases too much iconography, and in other cases not enough. The main one that I'd pointed to, and the one that I wish that it was a little bit better last year, was the amount of passive or superstar abilities that
still just a lot of
last year with
space,
the way that the layout was. You could just put the number of abilities that you had on there versus like the specific abilities that were equipped on there. And so that kind of, again, drove what the initial conception was for, you'll probably hear me refer to as like the 50-50 version of it, where it's, half of it's art and half of
Give me 75-25. You don't need 50-50.
And so what ended up happening is that was the thing that we knew that we were going to go ahead and build first, knowing that we still wanted to have
that would be cool.
Another view of it, of like, we know, like, obviously the art team puts out amazing content. We want to be able to pay that off. We knew that players were also going to want to continue seeing that get paid off. I mean, we just invested in a feature last year where we let you choose what art actually shows on the front of the frame. So, but then life started to happen, right? Like, so we go and we build the 50-50 and we get that in, and then COVID hits. And now we're all, in scramble mode. We're working from home. Not to get into like what does a gaming development cycle look like, but at some point you are feature complete and you hit alpha, and like that is what you have, right? And so at that point, nice 50-50 is what we had. And I kind of talked about some of these extraordinary efforts from the team. This is one of those, and while the hashtag that was trending out there was not the reason of why we had to go back to the drawing board and figure it out, like. The good news was we already had the design, we already knew what we wanted to do, but what that hashtag and what that kind of
that's not a design
sentiment
change,
from the community did was make sure that if there's
any
way, shape, or form that we can have this in for when we launch the game, we need to do it. And thankfully, a month ago, give or take a week, we were able to get this in. And so when we kind of talk about it at a high level, and there's some exceptions to this rule, but at a high level, if you are highlighted on a particular player or item, that is when you're going to be in that 50-50 view, with the thinking being that's when you're typically going to want the most information about that specific player. And then anything that is off of highlight is going to be, I might call it this 80-20 view, again, where it's kind of more 80% of it is the art. And so we feel like it's the best of both worlds, where, again, you can get that information and kind of take it in easily.
This
while
looks
also
a lot
still
better
making
than
sure
this.
that there's a way in there that we're paying off, again, all that great art that the team is pumping out.
Cool. And what I did, Jake, while you were talking, I was showing players kind of like that player item guide where they see the 50-50, and then I also showed them the Lamar Jackson image that we got, yesterday that shows the 80-20. And I think at the end of the day, I mean, if we're all honest, UI, the expression of kind of card art that's out there, it's really important to players. But at the end of the day, last year was extremely confusing. I know I brought that up several times, where it's like you have all these iconography everywhere and it's not very clear. And I know Nando, he is very focused on UX. And I think a lot of times when we think of UX, user experience, UX, you got to make sure it functions well. People can understand that kind of stuff, and that transitions into the UI at the end of the day. You can build a beautiful UI, but if it doesn't function well and you really can't understand different components of it, it gets really messy. Now, I'm not a UI or a UX expert. I've worked with a few, but at the end of the day, you really want to be able to make sure that the person that's looking at something, they can kind of understand what's there. And let's just be honest. I'm going to go ahead and show this other image that you gave me, which was the M20 unfocused and the M21 focused. And just talk about that, because when you actually look at what we had in Madden 20 and where everything was kind of jumbled together, it was
they're really spending a lot of time to justify
and
this.
What you guys are taking the approach that's been taken is very different. I'll go ahead and change between this and also kind of like the player item guide that we had earlier. So if you want to talk a little bit about this, I'll go ahead and switch between both of these.
I didn't want to spend this much time on card art.
Yeah, no, I mean, you go in there, and one of the things that I didn't mention that, the art team was, quick to point out when we were like, hey, we have this opportunity to go back and try to make this, look a little better, was that kind of like dark scrim that you see kind of just around, the outer portions of the frame. While sure you can see, in there, and it's technically, if you have a piece of art, it is there in the frame. It is not like this, completely, unfiltered view of it. And so like that was another thing when we were able to go in here and really take a look at it. That was, the things that we may have needed that black scrim for 5 years ago no longer exist. We can go ahead and take that out. Card. And then like you mentioned, a lot of iconography on here, a lot of things that maybe aren't going to show up as player facing features, but like for the most part, when you see things like an LTD stamp or a power-up stamp, or those are things that either is being done on the art or is kind of
that's BS what they're talking about. I appreciate it, but that's BS. All right, back to it. I'm sorry.
On the art versus now when you see the power-up and then that stamp, it's actually much easier for our content creators. They're just kind of going to one.
Give us the MUT news
and saying this particular item is power-up eligible, and then programmatically that now gets sent down to the frame, which is, again, one of those things that might not show up to the end user, but from an efficiency standpoint and making sure that we're
7822 is better. 7822
the least amount of errors reach production.
Let's go. Thank you.
That's a nice kind of quality of life when that certainly went into play when
card art promo. Somebody said in the chat.
You can see right here. I'm going to show kind of like the community. The 80-20 or 78%, you see this right there with Lamar Jackson, and then we kind of go back to the player item guide. I think it shows a lot of that stuff that you were talking about. See the position, we see the archetype, we also understand the X factor and the passive abilities in the players, the chemistry multipliers, the stamps and all that kind of information. So it's definitely from a UX perspective and information perspective properly displayed. We're even going to talk a little more about even like the back of the player item, right? That's even changed, but we'll get into that in a minute. So those are those images right there that I showed. The next image I have, Jake, is actually inside the item binder where I'm highlighted on Aaron Donald.
Okay, let's see who we got.
A little bit about that. I think it's probably to showcase what we were talking about earlier, but feel free to talk through these two images I think that I have here.
Yeah, it's that whole highlight versus non-highlight concept. The item binder, one of those places where you're going to
I do like this, y'all.
So again, you can see on here, you are on Aaron Donald. You're in that 50-50. Everybody else in here is in that 80-20, and as you can see, as you scroll over to the Bobby Wagner, he also now kind of transitions to that Aaron Donald goes to that.
I kind of like that.
So you'll find that here in
the item binder. It is bad.
You'll find that in the lineup.
I like this, though. I like what they're doing here.
So, a lot of places where you're going to kind of
gives them more room to work with it.
Again, hopefully it feels like a nice balanced blend. I know there's a lot of feedback, a lot of really passionate folks out there about this. The one thing that I would just ask is, hey, get your hands on it, play with it, give it a week, give it 2 weeks. And
I like it. I like it. I like the change.
At that point, absolutely fair game. It's something that we'll continue monitoring. You always do a great job of making sure that we understand what that feedback and sentiment is, and that can kind of inform
big W.
Yeah, I know. Like when I got my hands on the build and had an opportunity to kind of play it a lot more. At first, I was a little bit shook. I was like, there's no back of the player item. And I got a little frustrated because I'm like, I can't capture things right now. It's becoming very difficult for me.
Fairly certain.
And then as I started kind of going through kind of the new design, it made a lot of sense to me as just somebody who's just very detail oriented, and just likes the flow and likes information in a certain way that's categorical. It made a lot more sense for me. So there's also the lineup screen that I do want to highlight real quick here. I do have one part that you guys can't see, but we'll talk about that later on in the stream. But you'll see right here, I do have Aaron Donald highlighted as well. And this kind of layout has
good.
it's there so people can see what's going on in that space. Now,
Pretty
speaking
much
of
the
all
same,
that, let's
it
talk
looks
about
like.
the back of the player item, Jake. This was the part that kind of got me a little frustrated because I was trying to capture things the old way, and then we realized, and huge shout out to Paige, who's been working with our art team to figure out exactly the best way to get the information out there, because we're going to talk about kind of how the assets that you guys see on @EA_Sports_MUT will display information. But right here I have the Aaron Donald screen. Let's say I go ahead and open up a pack, and then when I open up the pack and I go ahead and click on that item, I'm going to get all these options: compare, promote. So talk about this. It just seems a lot, and we have 3 tabs. Let's walk through all this.
Yeah, so I mean, what's funny about this was, again, when we made the choice to go after, updating what the front of the frame looks like, it also was kind of made the right timing for us to go back to a design that we had, basically 2 years ago when we brought upgrades into Ultimate Team. This was the initial design kind of all along, and at the time we were only able to get the upgrades portion of it. So this whole back of item feature is something that has actually been kind of designed out and planned for a little while now, and we were able to kind of go after and attack it this year. So yeah, when you're taking a look at that, I feel like I kind of most relate it to almost like a franchise full screen player profile look. And we've taken what used to be 6 tabs on the back of the item. It's now consolidated down to 3, because again, now that you're utilizing that entire screen, you're able to get more of that information on there all at once.
Got it.
So here you can see you've got all your particular actions that you would normally have, anything that the player might be eligible for, whether that's auctioning, trading, quick selling, all that good stuff, as well as all the history of how you earned it and the description.
Does it fill up the full screen?
We keep harping on this a lot, not to pick on archetypes, but it's like, here's the icon for archetype as well as the spelled out version of exactly what you got going on here. And then if you tab over, you're now into the attributes screen, and that's again another place where you're getting all that information right at once, including those key attributes. Everything that kind of makes sense to kind of highlight what's the top line information that you're going to want about a particular player.
That's smart.
You can find it here. Then you can scroll down
green,
to get even more of that additional
give them a bigger
information.
Boost.
Very small thing, but a thing that I always think is funny to point out. Weight is now a thing that you can find while inside of Madden Ultimate Team. Again, small,
nice.
Let's throw out all the info
cap.
that we can, and then you're just on it over in the upgrades. That one is mostly unchanged. The main one that I would call out here on the upgrades tab is sort of like this timeline view. There, you're now able to get a little bit more information, especially with power ups. Something like a core elite doesn't have necessarily the deepest.
100% account. They need to do that.
A power up
ASAP.
As you were to start scrolling over to the right, that total cost that you see, and right there you see it's just a 5. Oh, okay, you have it a little bit here. That's a little bit more of what the view looks like. But if you were still highlighted up there, it would actually tell you how much training you need in total to get there. Now, I know the next question is going to be, does that mean it's just a 1-button click? No, it's still unfortunately not a 1-button click, but you are able to get kind of more information in terms of, I need this much training. I need to make sure that I have this many items before I go.
Any less math that I have to do is good.
Path.
Cool. When we're looking at those images, is there anything else, Jake, that you want to talk about regarding the new item layout? Because one thing that I'm noticing on here is we got this AP thing on there. And I do want to talk about that as well. I know something you're very passionate about. I know you're laughing. It's more of an inside joke. There's somebody out there. It's not Gibbs, guys. Not Gibbs. Not Gibbs is always giving Jake a lot of hassle on just certain things. But we love Not Gibbs.
Come on now.
Even though he's not here. Do you anything else you want to talk about new item layouts before we jump into kind of the ability points, ability caps?
Let's make the transition.
All right, good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and talk about ability points. You guys may have seen in the screen. Talk to me a little bit. I'm going to go back and I'm going to show the image of Aaron Donald, and people will see. If you guys look at the bottom right hand part of the item where it says sack the QB, you see kind of like 0 and you see 0 AP. We're going to be talking a little bit about what does that 0 AP mean. How does it kind of play a factor? So Jake, walk us through ability caps. I'm going to put it on screen for you and I to talk about, and then I'll kind of go ahead and cycle through some of the images that I have leading out with kind of like the tiers for ability slots and whatnot.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, this is our big gameplay story this year. Clinton and the crew have done another amazing job delivering another just awesome story this year. And for us in Ultimate Team, we want to make sure that we can continue paying that off. And the thing that we kind of started to think about this year was, quick refresher on Madden 20. Hey, I'm going to get 3 players on offense, 3 players on defense. Everything that those players have, I'm activating them. Those are my 6 guys that I'm kind of bringing in and activating. And shout out to Brad. He's the one who kind of had this initial thought, and we kind of, ran with it from there. Was, well, what if instead it was how many, like a point system, like how many abilities can you bring to the field versus how many players? And with that, it kind of brings this, kind of really additional team building strategy to it. You could choose to go still really deep with
That's
just
good.
1 or 3 players if you wanted to, or you could choose to have 5, 6 guys, and they all have
4
one
lurkers.
particular ability with them.
It's going to be
but you're able to kind of
spread
it out a little bit more. And the story I always tend to tell when talking about this feature was, I'd say right around Christmas time last year, home playing Ultimate Team, all the fire content's coming in. And I go and I want to say it was a Gronk. I go and I grab Gronk and I put him on the team. This is pre-buck Gronk, by the way. Sorry, I had to. Was like, I'm really excited, but I just can't not like activate him. Like I just can't break up the rest of the lineup, even though I'm super pumped about having Gronk on the team. And so it was just this feeling of not like fully paying off what it meant to go out and acquire that Gronk. And so super pumped that we were able to, again, kind of think more along the lines of, again, how many points do you have? And then, from there, when Brad and I were talking, I can still remember this, even though I haven't been to the studio in what feels like 5 years. I can still remember this conversation like it was yesterday. I go over, start talking with RG and a few other folks over there, and we start just riffing on this. And, kind of quickly, it's like, well, hey, Stein, like not every ability is, kind of created equally. Like there's obviously some that are more impactful than others.
That's very true.
It was like, well, cool. Well, what if we like just put a point value on those and we
salary
kind of
cap? What did I say?
So, like, if it was Madden 20, your enforcers and escape artists and pass rush elites and all that were the ones that we kind of picked out.
Not pass rush elite this year.
As ones that needed to kind of cost more. And that's what that AP means. That AP is, kind of standing for ability point. And so,
can we see it?
Just again, huge shout out to so many folks. I almost feel bad for starting to name people because I'm totally going to leave people off. But like Scandalberry, Nick Farah, these guys are just played an instrumental role in making sure that we were able to kind of tune this appropriately as best as we could for launch. But as we kind of outlined in the Gridiron notes as well, this is something that we kind of are positioning as a sort of balancing mechanic for us. Sure. So while an AP might come out and be a certain value, if that's something that we start to see and we have data to help kind of support that this thing is just not priced, if you will, or designed at the right value, we can go in and make those particular adjustments.
I broke your window
and that's just going to be part of,
I don't know what you're talking about.
What it means to interact
Carlitos,
with this feature.
It is going good so far. I'm liking it so far.
It's to me, it's awesome, right? And the other one that's really easy to go into is last year's Eric Dickerson's X Factor. This is a case where with that X Factor, we ended up making a balancing adjustment by changing the knockout conditions for Dickerson. In this particular system, we probably just would have increased it to like an 8 or a 9 or maybe even like a 10. And it's like, if you still want it, you still want to have it on, cool, you can do that, but you're probably sacrificing quite a bit in order just to have that X Factor on. So to me, I'm really excited about, again, the team building aspect to it, as well as some of the the capabilities.
I like that move. That's a good move. More strategy
we are
involved.
staying in touch with the meta and kind of can make those balancing adjustments.
Cool. No, I apologize. The whole time you're talking, when you start name dropping people, I'm thinking about RG, and I want to pull like a shofar out and go, RG, I see you out there, man. And he's watching the stream. I'm giving him a shout out because just RG, we need to see you, man. We miss you. Hopefully, we will hear from you here soon. He's been working hard, and just love that guy. So when you said that, I was like, man, I wish I had like a shofar. I could do something crazy like that, but I can't. All that, just moving aside.
I want to see challenges though. That's what I'm really excited about.
Do you want to talk about those ability, like the tier ability slots, and then we start showing some images about AP and kind of how it works? Or is there any more details you want to share about this?
Yeah, we can talk about that in just a second. I think one thing that I haven't mentioned just yet is, these are going to be broken up by archetype as well, and so kind of like another way to kind of pay off, what an why it makes sense to go after a particular archetype player versus another. So for instance, an easy example might be a field general is going to have access to conductor, and he might actually have like less requirements in order to access conductor, just like last year, but also his AP on conductor might be less than a scrambler quarterback, who is probably going to take longer to even
improviser
be able to
equip
conductor, but once they do, it would also kind of count more towards that AP total.
Cool. That's a good idea. I like that.
That's good.
That's
good.
And then the last thing that you mentioned, again, because we have built this system, one of the things that we feel more comfortable doing is allowing more abilities to be put on any particular player, because again, it's being balanced in a different way. And so we still have the 80, 85, 90, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 that we had from last year. But as you can see here, at 98 and 99 overall, that will be when you get that, fourth and fifth slot, if you will.
Wow.
So again,
5 slots.
As the year goes on, you're going to have the opportunity to put more and better abilities on there. But again, you still will be beholden to the cap total. Now, when it comes to the cap total itself, right now, if you were to fire it up, that number is set to 10. We might have points in the year where we raise.
Hey, Draconian, thank you for that donation, man.
So
I think you're my first donation on the channel. I appreciate that, buddy.
As the year progresses, look out for that cap total to
you will be forever in my mind as the first donation on the channel. Thank you.
I have some images here of Bobby Swags. We're gonna go through. You'll see here, and Reach Elite, for example.
Did they say what the total was?
I'm just gonna cycle through some images for you guys, so that you can see. Jake has them. Just to kind of give a little bit of the context.
5 slots,
like
I know.
1 AP,
a lot, right?
You'll see 2 AP, as Jake was saying.
Okay.
As we look at, for example, goal line stuff, you have 3 AP. And then like Avalanche. What's interesting though, Jake, over here is like with Avalanche, right? We noticed that it says 0 AP. Can you talk to us about that? And I have that screen up here right now because I know that's an important factor.
Is it 10? Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Thanks, Carlitos.
One of the things that as we were starting to get the system in and start play testing it, it became quick that, who's going to actually spend some of their cap total on X factors? These, like, a thing that I actually have to still do something in the game to even activate versus these passive abilities that I'm going to get on every down.
Yeah, I would never use X factors.
And so the thing that we wanted to do was, because you can still only activate 3 X factors on each side of the ball, that was sort of a system that was going to make sure that just didn't blow up. So we wanted to go ahead and make all the default X factors cost you nothing. So you can still only, activate 3 of them, but you're going to be able to choose, who those players are that you want, and still again kind of preserve what that rest of that 10 at launch AP was going to be able to get you at that point. So it felt like a thing that X factors might quickly just get completely more or less like designed out of the game. That's not something that we wanted, and this was the solution
right now.
Well, and I have a screenshot right here where you'll see like the active superstars. You're picking them on on each side of the ball.
Very nice.
But there's also, if you look at this screen, if you look at Bobby Wagner, he has like a number 2. He has some stuff at the very underneath it. When I first looked at this, I wasn't quite sure what that meant, but like the more that I played around with it, I can see that that's actually like that item has 2 AP points, right? And then underneath it, that looks like that's his superstar X factor. Is that correct?
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah, and so what this really turns into, I think
cool.
I'm always looking for,
That's
and
clean.
the team is always looking for, are there more I kind of call them like capturable screens, like screens that just are like really impactful, that you're really excited to like capture it and share it out with your friends and share it on social media. For Ultimate Team, right? Like the lineup screen is one of those premium places, and I can just see one of our community leaders putting out, hey, here's my lineup, and without this information, the very next question that everybody would have for them would be like, who do you have activated? What are they doing? Sure. All that good stuff. So this kind of gets you in a little better spot.
That is another smart change.
Here's who's actually there.
Good job, EA.
Here's how much that they're counting towards.
Yeah,
and yeah. If they have
I'm
an
liking
X
it
Factor,
too,
we're gonna show you
Carlitos.
the X Factor sign. If they don't, we default to the superstar ability logo that you can also see over there. So yeah, I mean, to me, it feels like it's a nice kind of informational screen that you can get a nice just clean look at it.
Cool. And I have a screenshot right now, like manage the superstars on defense, to kind of give people some context.
I'll think about it.
Kind of like this new look. So right now I'm actually looking at my active superstars. I get to see their AP. I get to see how many X Factor limits I have, 2 of 3. My AP limit's 5 of 10. So I kind of have some AP space to play around with. And other stuff. Do you want to talk anything about? Is there anything you want to share about the screen before we kind of move on to some other stuff?
Why would you put?
Maybe just another note or two here. So yeah, when you come into this screen, it's going to populate everybody who's in that active lineup that would be eligible to come in here. So basically, anybody who has an ability or an X Factor already equipped on the player will show up in here. Another thing that really pops out is the deactivate option that you can see over on Fearmonger. So again, because you're only able to choose 3, it's like, well, how do we let you choose which ones that you want? When you are choosing to activate a player, the default is you're going to get everything that they have. You're going to get all their passives as well as their X Factor. You could also choose to only take their passives. But when you also find yourself in the screen and you're like, I just want to do some quick management to deactivate this X Factor and put it on somebody else, there's a nice, easy, just kind of one button to turn the X Factor off. Now, while that's super convenient, the thing that is worth kind of diving into a little bit more is when it comes to the superstar abilities themselves. If you find yourself saying like, I really want Aaron Donald, but he's too much a cap or too much AP for where I'm at, you are going to have to go to the Aaron Donald, remove whatever particular superstar ability is there. That's going to kind of get you back to the number that you're looking for. So those type of edits do have to be made on the player versus where the X Factor can be turned on and off here at that managed superstar ability.
I wonder what the reimbursement system will be.
Thanks for all the context there. I think it's just helpful to kind of understand. With these new features, you guys are like, I started to understand is like how the UX, the user experience, tells that story. So it's really good, Jake, to kind of expand on that. I really do appreciate it. I know there's a lot of questions, right? And sometimes I know that for some people, even for myself, it's like I may not like something, but just having the context helps me kind of digest it a little bit easier. And just to understand maybe the design ethos behind it, not ethos, I'm saying it wrong, just the design logic behind all that. It's helpful. So thank you for taking the time and just agreeing to kind of talk through all that. I know the community really does appreciate it. Anything else you want to talk about Ability Cast before we move on to MUT programs?
No, let's move on.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about MUT programs. Guys.
Yes.
So first up, let's go ahead and talk about Rivals. So Rivals is pretty similar. When I kind of started tinkering around with this, similar to kind of like Welcome to Madden Ultimate Team. That onboarding experience that we had last year. Do you want to talk a little bit about Rivals, that program, or anything different?
Look at that. That's sick.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple things that stand out. I'm sure for a lot of people who are nice enough to join us on stream tonight, probably not the thing that's going to give you the most
I'll get to your question.
Experience in Ultimate Team. This is totally the thing that you're jumping into first once you get into Madden Ultimate Team. So I think these are all set to arcade play style. You're going through, you're kind of getting those early rewards, those early progressions. The main thing that, again, a lot of people who are probably joining us tonight would be interested in is playing through this and earning, all those particular milestones along the way. You get to choose from one of 3 players. I believe we have Ben Roethlisberger, Zach Ertz, and Jalen Smith as our 3 85 overall players that you kind of get from competing and completing the Rivals. Now, the other thing that's going to be interesting with Rivals is we have plans to kind of continue this on as the year goes on. So look for that as, again, we continue getting deeper into the Madden season. Rivals is probably something that you're going to see kind of a continuation to.
Cool. And right now I'm just cycling through the images, giving people an opportunity. You know, I know there's folks out there that are probably trying to capture these images, you know, for videos or things that they're doing. I know we haven't tweeted these out from @EASports_MUT, so just going to kind of, you know, for the time being, cycle through these.
Smith is the move there.
But next up, I think what we're going to talk about is the team captain program. So let's go ahead and talk about team captains, Jake.
This was like Shaz and
first up, we got some new players. Let's go ahead and talk about that.
We do. Pretty early on in the experience, you're going to be able to get into your MUT captains, and we're actually going to have, you know, a relatively short experience here where you're going to get each one of those team captains overridden onto your team and kind of try them out before you have to make the choice of who you want. So as you can see here on screen, we've got the great Eddie George back in the house, as well as Leroy Glover, Ed McCaffrey, and Aeneas Williams. So again, you're kind of go through, play with this experience, have a relatively short challenge where they're on your team, get a sense of how impactful you might feel like they are.
Get the McCaffrey.
From there, you'll go ahead and make your choice
family
of
on the same
which
team
of the captains that you want. Now, a couple things to note here. This is not like this, oh my gosh, if I make the wrong choice here, I'm done forever. No, we do have an exchange set for you that's available right away, and you can do as many times as you want. So if you kind of quickly have remorse over who you got, or again, like a very real world thing might be, hey, I picked Eddie George, but then I just got Travis.
You pull
why am I
Christian
Derrick
McCaffrey
Henry
out of you or something like that? Yeah.
Any running back,
okay,
man.
Cool. I'm set at running back now. I'm gonna go turn in Eddie George, and I'm gonna go pick up Ed McCaffrey or Leroy Glover. So you can kind of stay flexible in that regard. The other thing to note here with the captains themselves are there's actually, when you open up any one of these packs, there's 32 versions of each team captain in there. It sounds crazy, but it's really just.
I was going to bring that up. I opened it yesterday, and it's someone's going to have, people are going to have fun with this. Just saying, there's 30. The audio on it is pretty crazy when you open it. I'll leave it. I'm not going to say anything else.
There you go. So yeah, what this does is it allows you to choose what team that you want to go after. And again, there are some design reasons. I'm actually going to let the players themselves kind of sort of feel it out and kind of see how the flow goes for when it comes to team captains. But versus something that we've done in the past where it's like, well, why don't I just have them and there's 32 team choices?
Yeah,
like there's some other design choices that are being made here that'll make sense once you get into it.
Okay. And I'm just cycling through some of the images that we captured. Like right now I'm actually on Aeneas Williams, home screen. Went ahead and showed kind of like the 32 when I picked the Seahawks as a Seahawks fan. Jake, I really do apologize. I know we were doing the stream together, and I chose not to bring any Bucks into the picture. So I do apologize. I've done you a massive disservice. But I'm just cycling through these, and then I have the screenshots of the ratings, so I'm going to put those up on stream right now for people to see.
I want to see what
so this is kind of like their ratings when you go ahead and get your team captain, and that you go ahead and choose that. So I'm going to go ahead and cycle through these, give it a little bit of a moment for people to kind of digest that information. And again, this is a lot of all the things that you're seeing here are the key ratings. And Jake, one thing that we didn't talk about, the key ratings, when you see that on the back of or kind of in that view, why do we focus on key ratings? Like, is there anything specific or unique about those key ratings that people should be aware of?
Well, I'm excited to have a much better answer in the near future. But for now, what this is it's still tied to the position. And so really what it's trying to do is really kind of elevate and bring, kind of like the main attributes that are
Leroy Glover, no one's going to grab
that OVR.
D-tackle?
Maybe that's not necessarily the best case for every archetype. Read between the lines. But more on that later on. But it's really kind of like your kind of quick glimpse into seeing what are the attributes that I should care about? I'm a newer player. I'm not sure why I should care about a defensive tackle. Here are some of those key ratings that you should be looking at.
Very cool. Yeah, I know, like, sometimes when you look at items, it was always the same cookie cutter ratings that were there, and you always wondered, does this apply for that player, or does this apply for, of course there were questions, does this really impact the archetype and other stuff? So sounds like you guys are still doing some work in that space, but thanks for answering that question.
Grinding.
Which one am I going with?
Grinding.
I appreciate it, man. All right, let's
I'm
go ahead and
Aeneas
talk about
or
NFL
McCaffrey,
Epics
honestly.
next. So we have NFL Epics.
Probably not running
What is the NFL Epics program? We had it last year, right? So we had.
We did. We had 2 players at the start of last year.
Or 4
this year we've upped it to 4.
85 instead of 86.
So with each one of these players, there's a 25-game Ultimate Challenge experience, kind of calling out and highlighting 25 of the best moments from their career. And you can see on here, you get a nice view up for the audience.
Awesome.
So we got Larry Fitzgerald, an AP,
That's
as well as Ronnie Lott and Jack Youngblood. So especially, all 4 of those guys, certainly not exactly hard to go find these epic moments that they've brought to the table. But with Ronnie Lott and Jack Youngblood especially, excited about that. And as you can see here, you're kind of in the mission view here. With each one of these, you're going to have the opportunity to play through those 25 challenges. From there, you're going to unlock one additional challenge. Go ahead and complete that, beat that, and that's how you're going to earn the 85 overall version for each one of these players. And so they're all available.
That's nice.
There's not any sort of gating mechanism or anything like that. You're able to kind of get into all these guys. And so little 104 game
86 speed. I'm surprised.
Yourself 485s.
Good stuff. And I'm just showing
That's
right
a pretty
now
solid running
just
back.
some of the ratings that we have here. Again, huge
For
shout
free.
out to Paige. Huge shout out to Josh for all your help.
86 speed? Are you
kind
kidding
of
me?
helping me get stuff set up on the build to capture these images for the community and get that out there. Paige, phenomenal job here in getting all this stuff.
Dude, these are pretty solid
for the community so they can see it.
I'm not even gonna lie to y'all.
All right, up next, Jake. I'm going to take a little breather. You need a water break, bio break. You good?
I've been stealing some while you have these screens up. We're still okay right now.
I'm over here sipping just live on stream, and it is water, just for those people asking.
Sure.
Okay, Mutt Master. Let's go ahead and talk about Mutt Master. Actually, I'm putting up the screen Mutt Master. But before we get into that,
hey, they're all over the place.
Let's go ahead and talk about.
Oh no, let me see who the Mutt Master is. Yeah, I'm a big fan so far, Carlitos. Good stream.
Last year we had Pat Tillman.
Oh, this is great.
And you and I have been talking, offline a little bit about where you guys want to go with the Mutt Master and how you guys pick those players. And
predictions in the chat.
Mutt Master is like I didn't know the person at first, and
get him and
like,
quit.
oh my gosh, you're not really a true football fan, and it's like, okay, I get it. But at the same time, I think there's just like stories behind these things that you guys are doing that is really cool. So let's go ahead and talk about it.
Appreciate that. I mean, this is definitely not to say like this is how Mutt Master is going to be from now until whenever, but certainly, kind of proud
Jason Taylor? That's good
to kind of take it in this new direction. You kind of go back 4+ years ago, it was typically the same player as who was on the cover for that year, and starting with Sean Taylor a few years ago is where we kind of like, oh well, here's another player that kind of goes just beyond just a cover athlete
Alex
or
Smith
what it might mean to be the Mutt Master. And
we'll see if they do.
The following year was Ryan Shazier after his
Tomlinson,
his story and his kind of
again
battle and grind back to getting
they're not going to do running back. Actually,
it was truly inspirational. And then you mentioned Pat Tillman last year, and I think a lot of us are familiar with Pat Tillman.
Kuechly would be good.
So this year it was like, okay, well if we wanted to continue going in that direction, who might be some players that would.
I want a defensive guy. I want a defensive guy.
I tweeted the other day that Alex Smith was somebody that was certainly kind of like met the criteria. That sounds terrible, but like it's sort of like somebody that would kind of have those same feels. I mean,
he got injured bad enough.
Seeing what he's gone through and the odds that he's overcoming were amazing, right? But we went in another direction, and we are going with both New Orleans Saints and Carolina Panther linebacker Sam Mills. Sam Mills is probably best known for his sort of legacy is this keep pounding.
Okay.
Which is, this speech that he provided. He transitioned from his playing career
Thoughts?
into a coaching career with the Panthers, and during their Super Bowl run in the playoffs, he kind of had this very inspirational speech. And why was it inspirational? Well, that year started off with him getting diagnosed with intestinal cancer in August of that year, and he chose to fight it. He chose to not only fight it, but continue coaching. And that was the year where the Panthers kind of made it all the way and played the Patriots in the Super Bowl that year. And so that kind of keep pounding legacy continues to live on for Carolina.
I don't know Carly
and that franchise. Keep pounding, I think, is their official hashtag. It is certainly the thing that they do to start every game now.
So
they
started to keep pounding
kind of drum routine.
I don't know.
So really kind of cool and special.
I like
MLB,
and
just
though.
Somebody that again kind of just transcends. Again, this was no slouch either. I mean, he played again for 12 years, a handful of Pro Bowls. I believe he helped the Panthers win their first game in franchise history.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
With
how's
a
his
defensive
speed?
Touchdown, like just a
we'll see here in a minute,
sensational player, and kind of with everything else. This one felt right, so I'm excited to
He's
kind
the Mutt Master.
Announce that one tonight.
Hey, a lot of people.
Hope everybody else
Pat
is
Tillman
equally
was,
excited about this.
That's awesome, man.
I haven't either.
People know, the way to go ahead and get your Sam Mills Mutt Master item is you're going to go into like the Mutt Master progression,
a touchdown.
Kind of ultimate challenges and missions. You're going to go through all that. Jake, I know you're going to talk a little bit about that because you guys did things maybe a little bit.
I'm going to go check it out after this, Brandon Thomas.
So you're going to get a touchdown. It's a really quick ultimate challenge. You're going to go ahead and then get
I'm gonna watch it after
your Sam Mills player item, which you guys saw earlier. But then. There's going to be
not yet. Madden.
There is going to be
not yet.
There's going to be like a main list, and then there's going to be a list that's tied to the series updates, right? And how you can go ahead and earn tokens to go ahead and upgrade your Mutt Master. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So the main list is something that is going to look and feel a lot like certainly not exactly, but a lot like what you've seen with Mutt Master objectives list over the past couple years. There are definitely some differences. There's actually
daily
maybe
objectives
a few less this year.
Are part of it. Interesting.
That main list will give you enough upgrade tokens to get him to a 93 overall.
Okay. And I have an image of that.
Overall, he's been a 95. So you mentioned the series list. With every series, there's going to be a Mutt Master list that sits alongside it as well, and it has 4 different objectives on it.
During
if you do
that
half
series?
of them, you get an additional +1 collectible for Sam Mills. If you do all 4 of those in the time of the series that is open, there's a pretty strong coin reward for doing that. And so again, this is a mix of
what is
right
strong?
now you see it here on screen. There's some team-based stats as well as some stats that you need to do specifically with the Sam Mills Mutt Master. And again, kind of doing them all in that time frame is going to net you a pretty strong coin reward. You can still get a coin reward and the +1 OVR after the fact. It just won't be as strong as if it was being done during that given series that it came out in. So he will go to a 94, and then with each series, rather 94. Than again, Kralo, you come in saying, hey, people are pounding on the door, when are we upgrading Mutt Master? We're just going to go and commit to it right now. With every series, he's going to get a +1 OVR until he reaches that 99.
Cool. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to change. I'm telling the live service team right now, change your Slack to the knock, because that's what I'm going to be doing virtually while we're working from home. Dad joke?
Okay.
Bad one. Leave it at that. Showing Sam Mills 93 overall right here. So Jake, when you complete the list,
so
these are some of the key attributes key ratings that you're going to see on Sam Mills. We also got a screenshot. Again, huge shout out to Paige for helping out with this. When you get into a 94 overall, and also huge shout out to the art team. I did take a screenshot of the upgrades because I wanted to just see the art. I just wanted to see the art. Right here, kind of just as
That's
you
kind of
build it out, you get to see kind of unique art treatment. You're going to unlock some front art treatments with Sam Mills.
I do want to see this
as you upgrade him, and you'll see some stuff there. Anything else you want to talk about regarding Mutt Master, Jake, before we jump into Level Master?
Well, something that both the Level Master and Mutt Master are going to share is a team chemistry bucket that will let you choose from all 32 teams. So that's probably a good thing to just kind of get out there. It's not just the Panthers and the Saints that are going to, so quote unquote benefit from.
Is that
Sam
Tillman
Mills.
was like that, wasn't he? Didn't he apply to every team?
And those players will have access to all 32 team chems.
That's awesome. Cool. I think when I was testing the build and kind of capturing, I didn't see. I probably might have captured at a certain time. There's like every day there's just like a ton of updates. I didn't see that for Mutt Master, which is great news. I do have a capture here for Level Master, which I'll lead into that. So for Level Master, we have Andre Johnson as going to be our guy. I'm going to just go through some screens real quick here, but I'm going to get to that screen that shows all the chemistries for the player. Do you want to talk about Level Master and anything that's unique and different this year, Jake?
Well, I mean, yeah, Andre Johnson. I mean,
Madden OG,
it's been a
since I
minute
just
since
saw,
we've seen him
I'm
in
going to go with
Ultimate
Andre
Team,
Johnson.
so,
I'm a little bit ahead of the chat, so sorry for not guessing before.
Again,
Totally had cards.
Team,
okay, good enough.
Chemistry choice.
Similar
story
I didn't do
as last year.
Last year.
As you're upgrading your Mutt level, you're going to get
tokens
to upgrade him. I believe there are this year also some additional challenges as well, which you would be able to find other Level Master.
Yeah, I like that. That's
as well. The other kind of interesting thing that we're tinkering around with,
fast wide
Level
receiver,
Master, is he's going to have a few unique X factors for him.
Ooh.
When I say unique, they're not different X factors that you find in the rest of the game. They are still some of the same ones. They're just going to have different, what we kind of call trigger and knockout conditions. And so, he might have things where it's easier to activate it, but it's going to come out maybe 1 or 2 plays later. So some other things in there. And again, that's another one where if we start to see feedback, or if that's a thing that becomes kind of a meta, we'll pull it back to the ability cap story, right? That's one where we might go in there and say, hey, this one might actually need to be like 1 point of AP versus the 0 that it's currently at. Because again, we kind of feel right now it's balanced with, it's easier to get into, but it's not going to last as long. So we'll be looking for feedback on there. But it's just a couple things to kind of hopefully make Level Master
Sean Taylor?
Even more unique and special this year.
It's awesome. And I have his ratings right here. So I think when you go ahead and work through all the levels, we'll talk briefly on the levels. I'm actually not going to spoil it this stream, going through every single level. I'll leave that for the community, the content creators to do.
That's pretty good, though. When he gets decent speed.
You guys do it way better than I do. So
he's good all-around wide receiver, so I'll take it.
From that perspective. But here are his ratings. And like you said, Jake, one of the things I did observe when kind of doing this was that in the past, when you unlocked like those level challenges, it was like, I'm just going to go there and just do them and get some coins. There are actually unique tokens that you can get from those level challenges. So I don't know if I have a screen of that, but we'll go ahead and talk about that. Let's go ahead and talk about Team Affinity. So Team Affinity is more kind of like that theme builders, kind of Team Diamonds. There's a story there that we want to talk a little bit about. So let's talk about Team Affinity. Jake, team builders. What can we expect when we're talking about team builders this year?
Yeah, I mean, when Team Affinity as a whole and why it's branded kind of that way is, again, we continue to see that people really enjoy building those teams, right? Like, it's no surprise that Kralo has literally pulled a Seahawk for every one of these screenshots. Or if he can put Seahawks on there, or even if he asks Paige to just put something, like just put
I agree, Madden OG. It needs to be
Seahawks
before
logo
Christmas.
on top of this,
I don't know if
right?
they'll do day one,
like,
but
I get it, right? We all love our
Christmas.
teams. You can see my Zoom background. Like, we love our teams, right? And
no
so being able to have, some of that when it comes to, just building the best Madden Ultimate team. I'm going to go find the best OVR for every position. It doesn't always have to be like that. And we've done it again through chemistry balancing and the different type of options and the things that we're being cognizant of when we're designing and choosing players. It's with these this team affinity in mind. And so when it comes with builders, we've got 16 challenges for you here when the game comes out. Go through it, knock all those out, and then from there you're going to have a choice of all 32 teams. And so, shocker, Krayla's going to pick the Seahawks, and then from there, you're going to see one offense and one defensive player from the Seahawks. They're both at 84 OVR. So you're going to be able to make that choice. So it's kind of a fantasy pack where you're going to get a double choice. You're going to choose the team first.
I'm not Xerxes.
And then you're going to go ahead and choose, do you want the offense or defensive player?
Cool. So, I'm also not going to spoil that. I think community members out there and even content creators may show that. So I wanted to kind of just touch on the basics. But Team Diamonds was something you were really passionate about last year when we talked about this, Jake. You guys were looking at
Team Diamonds and Theme Diamonds is going to throw me off.
Go ahead and talk to me about
Team Diamonds. No database news yet. Haven't seen anything. Hoping for it tonight.
Yeah, so slight, it's not quite the Theme Diamonds, it's Team Diamonds, but it's really the same thing. It's we're just going with the team vernacular this year. So it's a lot of what we were able to do last year, which was going after and find some of these legends that maybe really speak to kind of like the heart of that particular fan base.
Theme Diamonds
sometimes
is
it's for players who we just haven't had in the game in quite some time. But maybe again, not like your everyday household name, but like the guys that are going to be super impactful for you as you're a fan of that team.
Takio Spikes? Did I see Takio Spikes in the chat?
The Bears and the Jim Covert one. Some people like Jimbo Covert. He's actually somebody that was going. Well, I don't know if he's technically going to the Hall of Fame because I know they
Takio Spikes.
But anyway, he's part of this year's Hall of Fame class, left tackle for the Bears. So super cool. And I think you even have a list of
love
Takio.
I do,
guys.
And so just a heads up. In this, I put Justin Covert, right? And I think I took that off someone's document. Put Jimbo Covert.
Oh no!
So you know who you are, person over there who does spreadsheets.
I don't know a lot of these guys. Gonna be real with y'all,
so that you guys can see.
Takio Spikes is an instant cop for me.
Sorry that it is in 8.5.
Same with Don Telhart. My goodness.
Yeah, so you got 49ers, Justin Smith. So this was like at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm putting this together.
Weddle? Okay.
So if
Weddle
I butchered any of these names, guys, I'm sorry. All right, I'll work on it. Jake, if you need me to go ahead and revise this, I'll get it over to Paige. Paige will proof it, and then she'll get this image out there.
What do y'all think? Who y'all picking on first?
NFL Direct, and everyone can meet.
Takio Spikes is day one.
You're the best, man. If there's anybody that gets a pass, it's definitely you. So yeah, just going through this list. I mean, some of the ones that
Justin
stick
Smith
out,
fire.
I'll start with work.
I wonder if they're going to go over each player. That would take a long time.
That one was really cool. Love.
I'm so excited, guys. Y'all have no idea how excited I am.
Those were some days. As well as some favorites like Bob Sanders returning here, Troy Vincent, somebody that was just kind of always a menace to play against both in real life, and I can still just remember the old Madden. And I always played Madden in a fantasy draft mode, and I would always I'm getting Troy Vincent.
Hit power is going to be big day one.
That's awesome.
Asante Samuel, I know that's been another one where people would always tag me and Asante Samuel. Like, when are we going to do this? Let's get him on. Let's get him in. Boom. We got him. He's in. Dre Bly.
Sounds like
always loved Dre Bly. That guy was always something special. Super athletic. UNC guy. That was pretty awesome. A lot of great names on there. Those are some of the few that stick out to me.
Yeah, Roddy White. I mean, I know a lot of people are excited about. I
didn't even see Roddy White. That's a good one. Nice.
Seahawks. Okay, moving on.
What a Holland Smith.
I'm going to leave you here for 1 second.
Takio Spikes, just from myself there personally.
Time. And again, I do apologize.
Dante Hall, Asante Samuel.
To you guys.
There's some good names on there.
Been properly edited or beautified from a formatting perspective.
I don't care,
just
man.
a lot to kind of get in there and format it just right late last night.
I just got to see
apologies if I misspelled any name. That's on me. You know what?
Don't care, man.
Me. I get it. It's my fault.
What was he calling?
All right, let's talk about Legends.
DK Metcalf?
So Legends, there's going to be a little bit of change to Legends. Do you want to talk about that, Jake, real quick?
There's so much.
Yeah, we can talk about Legends and this
Takio Spikes after
between
Maze,
this and maybe the next thing that we talk about. I'll start to get into
Hell yeah,
mode
Keegan,
a little bit.
That's a big one for me.
So kind of pull the curtain back a little bit. When we go and we get after, or we start to identify a list and we want to go after and try to sign these players, we've been working through the NFLPA. That's been like kind of our primary way and continues to be a main way in which we go after and try to acquire agreements with these players. This year, we've recently added another group to the fold with IMG. And with them, they've also been another like really great partner and been able to help kind of secure some additional legends. Some of them that you've already seen, with Tony Romo, in
OG,
the pre-order. You've got,
he's a
Mike
linebacker.
Samuels and Andre Johnson.
He went to Auburn.
There's some
That's
more
why I
on
like
that
him a
list,
lot.
and I am definitely not going to spoil that.
His neck's like this
a
big
lot
around.
of the people that we see kind of constantly woven into the conversation for guys that they would like to see return to Madden.
There's
a decent chance we might see them at some point this year. So really excited about that.
Brett Favre.
I think it's going to make for
back, man.
just a great year and a lot of surprises to come.
Is that part of like what I hear in the office? Well, in the virtual office, the 50. Is that kind of what you're talking a little bit about?
We can dive into the 50 in a second. I don't want to disregard your Legends comment too. So thanks for reeling me back in. With Legends specifically, we are going to go down to only 2 Legends on Saturday.
You'll have a huge
so that's the bad
account.
news. The good news is that both of those players will kind of have like boss versions, if you will. I don't know if that's what we're officially calling them, but I know that's a vernacular that a lot of people will understand what that means. For those that don't, what that means is it's typically a +1 from what that set legend is.
For sure.
In this year, what it's really going to be is kind of it's almost like power up, like just straight shot past. So it's like not only is it +1, but it's like all the things that the power up would have had as well. Now the downside is the next time that particular legend gets another item, you don't just build off of the boss. Like you still need the power up. So like it's awesome, really great like right now, but in terms of like the long-term investment, you're still going to want to go to that power up. That boss will still be able to go into the power up, and so there's still a story there. But yeah, so each weekend 2 legends, 2 limiteds.
Okay.
And we'll be talking more about Legends
I'm
closer
cool
to worldwide launch, August 28th. That's not the date, just to be clear. It's going to be very close, right? So there'll be more information. Make sure to follow at EA Sports_MUT when we start tweeting out that kind of stuff. If we have an opportunity to preview these on Good Morning Madden, we'll do that as well. So
Good Morning Madden coming on back.
The 50. We hear 50 burger. We hear 50 cent. I mean, talk to us about this 50, Jake.
So, again, this is one where I'm going to probably be a little more vague than people want. People are going to have, I'm sure, a smart comment around the X factors around NFL 100. But I think by and large, the NFL 100 last year was just awesome, both in terms of the actual real-life production value that the NFL Network.
Hey, Legendary Gamer, how's it going?
Went into
Lots popping right now,
man.
A lot is popping right now.
To go and follow. And so when you think of the 50, this is going to be kind of our take on the 50.
He does get a vice skin, doesn't he? You're right,
Madden Ultimate
he's one of my favorite quarterbacks.
Players. This could just be Madden players, and so more on the 50 to come. It's not something we've talked about Legends.
Spikes isn't the fastest
first thing on this podcast.
He's kind of like a Ray Lewis type
stream that we've talked about. That's not going to be there if you're able to get into the game during EA Play or early access.
Darrell Revis. All right,
the 50 is another one of those things. It's just choices. Kind of, again, this is Kralo being cruel by adding this to the run of show to you guys. So this is something that's going to be out there and coming. It might be roughly a month or so, but when it starts dropping, be ready.
Right. And I know I won't talk about it now. I was going to ask the other question, which was the other item in the run of show that I just deleted. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I'm in the moment.
Okay,
nope.
In the moment. Okay, good stuff. I tried.
Hey, Mr. Okay, thank you for
let's
subscribing.
Go ahead and talk about other MUT stuff.
Appreciate it, bud. Thanks for stopping by.
This is where I'm going to run through some things.
Stuff.
I'm sure you guys are going to have some questions about other MUT stuff, and that's like solo battles, house rules, weekend
rules. Give us more house
rules.
Every other week, every 3 weeks. Come on.
Which is formerly EA Access. For those folks that don't know, EA Access kind of it changed the name to EA Play. Earlier today, there was an announcement. Solo battles will be coming back. My understanding is that it will probably be there. We'll find the date. So we're still trying to get some information on the dates. We'll get the information and we'll tweet it out. Let me double check my calendar here, and I just don't want to be mistaken by when I say.
Let me know if that freezes for y'all when I did that.
I believe it will either be coming out. I'm going to confirm. I'm not going to say anything, but solo battles will be there. We'll let you guys know. Also, MUT dedication will be back. So if you do your weeklies and you do your dailies and your daily engagements and MUT level, you'll find all that information there as well. You guys have seen these objective lists before. The objective lists are pretty much the same. You'll complete these and whatnot. And then you'll also go ahead and get your daily missions. You can complete those to get various items. Now, talking about MUT
I'm
levels,
hoping they're going to let
this
us
is
know.
something the community
Madden
just
OG,
loves
I'll
to
let
talk
you know.
about. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. EA Access is going to be happening on August 21st. I know there's a lot of stuff
August
out there
21st.
that you guys are seeing that says maybe it's August 20th. The official date is August 21st. If things happen earlier, we'll make sure to let you guys know. We're just being told August 21st. We're going to stick with that date.
I would think August 21st.
EA Play or EA
maybe
Access
the evening
Origin,
of the 20th.
they kind of have unique stuff out there. But again, just a heads up, August 21st is the date we're told. If anything changes, we're going to be happy to tweet that out to let you guys know so you can go ahead and get involved in the game. So here are just some screenshots. Level 7 is when you're going to go ahead and unlock your MUT. You're going to go ahead and unlock your level master.
Accountant, I don't care that he was a
Andre
Packer.
Johnson,
That doesn't bother me.
get your master token. These are just some screens. I only took a few for you guys. Like I said, I don't want to spoil it. Level pass, you're going to still have those premium exclusive store offers that are out there. And then I took a screenshot of level 50. Why? Because everyone wants to know we get level 50 power up pass. If there's unique store offers and other things, I do not know. I don't have any information on that. But what I do invite you guys to be a part of it. If you guys are EA Access members, which we call it now EA Play, you can go ahead and play these exclusive early access challenges. Huge shout out to Elliot and Joey and trying to get all this stuff up there to earn a random elite player. These challenges expire at 11:59 p.m. Eastern on August 24th, so don't miss your chance. So again, there will be some ultimate challenges there during EA Access. I know you guys are going to be wise in trying to use your time. This is one of those things that you'll be able to go ahead and get.
Take a screenshot of that for the
Twitter
Twitter boys.
Curve when it comes down to getting like a player item for your team. The other thing I'm going to talk about real quick here, Jake, is loyalty. A lot of people, there's a lot of questions that you guys may have that we're not going to answer all in this stream. We'll be checking out on @Madden NFL Direct. We'll tweet things out as we get information. Some of the questions that we went and we asked the live service team to understand what was going on. Loyalty. So last year, if you guys were part of the Madden Rewards MVP program or loyalty program, if you played Madden in certain years, you got a fantasy pack that had 6 players in it or had a various amount of players. That's going to happen this year. So if you played Madden 18, you played Madden 19, you played Madden 20. So let's say I played Madden 18, 19, and 20. I'm going to get 3 of these packs with these players. I'll show them to you.
Hey, accountant, thank you very much for that $3, buddy. So, that is not necessary, guys. 18, thank you all very much if you do feel moved to donate, but it is not necessary at any time. But thank you very much, accountant.
Kind of so
specifically awesome. during that product year. So it's like you can go get Madden 18 tonight and be ready to go. Like it had to be played during that time frame, but everything else, you're on the money. So yeah, in that case, if you were to play all 3, you're gonna get 3 of these packs. They're the same pack, but there's 6 players in there, and you can choose one of them in each of it. So they're all 82 overalls. So if you get these packs, don't choose the same.
I didn't pay 19.
Go ahead and
I was busy in college, y'all.
To help your team out.
Was I in college? I might be lying about
running
that.
Through these. So we have Andre Whitworth. We have DeMarcus Lawrence.
I think I was out of college.
We have Darius Leonard. I think I showed Darius Leonard.
You got it, accountant. Happy to do it.
We have Mark Ingram.
I hope I don't get copyright stricken. We'll see.
Patrick Peterson. So just want
Pat
to share
Pete's
those
the
with you guys.
That's
give you guys a little bit of a heads up on what's
Always
going on.
I'll
cycle through them backwards for those people that may have just missed them.
And probably super obvious to folks watching this, but these are the non-auctionable tradable version of the core elite. So what that means is you can put this into that particular player's power up and kind of satisfy that requirement as well.
Good stuff. Jake, you know what? Something's happening in Holiday. It's not content. It's actually consoles. Let's talk about that. People have been asking a lot of questions regarding console transitions. So
Pat Pete, right?
With next gen,
dude, Pat Pete's always he plays glitchy.
Talk to me a little bit about that and kind of what the approach will be for Madden Ultimate Team.
Sanders.
I know we put a little teaser out in the article with some information. I know there's still more information to come as we're working through those logistics, but just to give some of our players some information, can you talk about that?
Yeah, no, it's important to level set with players. And so we can talk about some of the key things. And as you mentioned, we will have an additional blog or post later on. But the last time when we go back to the last console transition, the way that we kind of handled that was you had a one-time push of your content. So whatever, if you're playing on PS3 and you wanted to, whatever you had at that time, you took a snapshot of it and you pushed it to PS4, and that's kind of how you continued your Ultimate Team journey.
Oh, manual standards.
This year, it's going to be a little bit different. So everything that's in your item binder, everything that's in your, kind of top user bar, things like coins or your points, those are all things that are just going to kind of live in the same ecosystem, if you will, no matter which particular, console that you're on. The key thing here, though, is that you do have to stay within the same console family. So an Xbox One needs to go to Series X, and then the same thing for a PS4 going to a PS5. That's kind of how that rules. You can't cross families in that regard, and so it's sort of the same benefits.
Got it.
Exchange sets are always a dub.
Anything that you do at that point is 1-to-1, and so again, let's think of a kind of a crazy situation where you go and you make the transition. Something happens, you leave it, or hey, I'm gonna leave my PS5 at home while I take the PS4 to grandma's. Like, you can do that, and then you're just gonna be able to pick right back up with exactly where you were in your Ultimate Team.
Got it. Yeah. So they'll coexist, it sounds like. So
they will coexist.
Even if they're nats, you should be able to put them in within the same family. Unless they're changing stuff, you should be able to.
All that will transfer over and they'll coexist.
All right, that's pretty cool. So, I like that.
That's good to know.
If you want to play on PS4 and PS5,
I really
you can,
appreciate you taking the time just to answer that question. We've had a lot of people asking about that. So, and like when we get closer to next gen, we'll definitely share more information with you guys through the Gridiron Notes. We'll be sharing it through streams and all that kind of stuff as we kind of ramp up. We'll start, just throwing a plug here for Good Morning Madden. We'll start on August 28th.
Let's go daily.
And, we'll kind of be back.
Good Morning Madden, please.
Whatnot. I'm trying to think.
I will not be able to stream that, unfortunately. I work.
I'm trying to have that Steve Jobs moment, where it's like one last thing.
One more thing. I don't think I have a one more thing. You're gonna have to pull the one more thing out for me if I'm just blatantly forgetting about it. The thing that I'm remembering is how we promised everybody we wouldn't be going 2 hours this year, and we're clocking in at 1:15 now. So
exactly.
That's what I have.
7:44. I'm looking at 8 o'clock to get skedaddle out of here. What I do want to talk about is ratings. So a lot of you guys are probably wondering what's going on with ratings. Can we see stuff related to ratings? We went ahead and tweeted out like the top 3 MUT players per a team. That was out there earlier today. Huge shout out to Paige for getting those assets created and also helping with that. Huge shout out to all the people on the social channels doing various things there as well. The top 7 MUT players were tweeted out the day before. We've been working with MUThead, and they've always been just great at kind of getting this information out for you guys. I want to highlight one thing, guys. MUThead,
and I'm definitely going to upgrade
from their
just
channel
for the content.
When they are
nothing
ready
else.
to go ahead and get this out there. They're trying to get this out to you guys by tonight.
Tonight, they're trying. Let's go. Give me tonight.
Hey, what's going on? But they're working with our teams to get this out there for you guys. Huge shout out to Rockets and a lot of those folks behind the scenes that we've been working with. Always a pleasure, and whatnot. I'll come back to this while we close out the stream to leave this up there. The URL is there. It's www.muthead.com/21/players.
Right there, boys.
They'll have the elite players. They'll have gold, silver, bronze. I think they may have some of the program players we talked about here as well. So definitely go check that out. Gridiron Notes. A huge shout out to Nat Gibbs. Guys, that article that was put together for the Yard, Nat Gibbs was working with JP. JPA, if you are watching, I hope you're watching. Thank you so much for all your support, giving us a developer perspective when it came down.
Zersky?
You did a great job with Superstar KO. Great job again with the Yard.
EA Access Travel releases on the 21st. They just said.
I know I'm leaving folks on the teams out. I just want you to know every one of you guys are valued. I wish I could just have a sheet and just shout you out all the time. You guys have been absolutely great. Gridiron Notes will be there. We did have Nat Gibbs get this all set up. I think
such a toxic community sometimes.
So Nat Gibbs, if you're in the chat and we're in Slack, hit me up in our specific thread and say we're good to go. Make sure to follow at EA Sports_MUT, at Madden NFL Direct. They will go ahead and tweet that stuff out. The last thing that I want to talk about is pre-orders. We've done this each stream to kind of let people know if you're going to go ahead and get the MVP
MVP,
edition. These are the items that you're
it.
going to get here. One thing I noticed is that the Lamar Jackson Elite item with power up is actually the Elite item Lamar Jackson, right? So you guys saw that it's kind of a nice little starter thing. You'll get a large quick sell pack, the MCS Ultimate Champion pack, 3 days early access. You get your one choice of a uniform pack, your choice of one of 32 elite players from the Team Elite pack.
Guys, don't open this yet. If you don't watch my YouTube videos, don't open this until you do everything else.
Gold Team Fantasy packs.
And these,
I'm just going to cycle through here. We have the Deluxe Edition. If you decide to get the Deluxe
Build your
Edition,
team first, then open the packs you get.
Not Gibbs says, yeah, Gridiron Notes is live. EA Sports _Mutt tweeted it out. Rockets is firing up the database right now with Rocket Fuel to kind of get that out there for you guys. And then here's just your standard edition. The reason I wanted to show all this to you guys again is because huge shout out to the messaging team and the art team for getting this there. I know last year there was a little bit of some confusion when people saw kind of like
this is so worth it this year, guys.
Just so you know, if you get the standard edition, you're getting your choice of a uniform pack, your choice of one of 32 elite players, and it says 5 Mutt Gold Team Fantasy packs. Last year, what was interesting is people would go all the way to the far right of the graphic and say, I only got 12 Mutt Gold Team Fantasy packs. And it said
you wanted to wait to see what we got?
17. I don't know why I'm doing in that voice. It's just more like I'm trying to act as like I'm frustrated, because it is frustrating when you see that kind of stuff on screen. That being said, everything is coupled with the standard edition rewards. So huge shout out to the messaging team for highlighting that out. You'll see Deluxe Edition at the top, and then you'll see standard edition rewards. You can claim those, kind of what's going on there. My understanding is that when this stuff goes live, for like the 3-day early access, I believe that's when pre-order happens. We'll follow back up with you guys. I know there's questions about Rookie Premiere. That's going to happen right around worldwide launch. So that's going to be August 28th. I also believe Loyalty might also be on worldwide.
I'm going to do the same account
on August 28th.
It's going to be a lot of videos. I don't know how much playing I'll actually get in.
I could be wrong with Loyalty. It's either worldwide launch or it's when we have you can get into the game on the 25th. There's a lot of dates going around. I just want to acknowledge that there are dates when this stuff will come out. We'll work with our teams to get that information out there and tweet it out. We do know EA Access is August 21st, right? So a lot of the stuff that you saw today is going to be there on August 21st for EA Access. For some of these things, when it comes to pre-orders are based on the dates, right? So when you go ahead and log in, when it goes live with your pre-order, that stuff should be there. The other things, like I said, Rookie Premiere, loyalty programs, all that kind of stuff.
Rookie Premiere,
we'll figure that information out. We'll tweet out
that like 5 times.
NFL Direct. We'll work with other team members. Also get on at EA
Patrick
Sports
Queen and Derek Brown.
That was a lot.
Purely based off of Ravens and Auburn.
Did I miss anything? Not Gibbs.
I think Patrick Queen will actually be good though,
Jake,
middle linebacker.
I missed anything? Go.
Jake's like, get me the hell out of here.
Nothing.
We got 10 minutes.
Wait.
We don't have to.
I think I just got the Mudhead database.
To be done by 8. We're done by 8. He says we're good. So good stuff.
Yes, the database is live, y'all.
Great job. Thank you, Not Gibbs. Great job, Jake. Guys, again, there's a lot of stuff that we didn't talk about today. Some of that stuff, again, you'll be able to find.
We'll take a quick look at that when we're done here.
Real quick from Mudhead, those ratings. Definitely go check that out. It's always a fun time to see the community going back and forth and talking about the gems that are in the game that they'll want to use on day one.
I should have done a CUDA. I almost did, and then I just stopped playing. I could probably still go get them done, but I don't want to. Thank you so much for all your help and just kind of getting this out there for the community. Really, we're about to go take a look at this, y'all, in just a minute.
I know one thing that
I don't have a lot of time after this, but we're going to.
So Madden Voice is kind of like that community platform where we're going to go and work with you guys to get feedback, get your voice heard. We're still working through that. One of the things that we're trying to find out is like, what's the right way? Is the right way to go ahead and open up Madden Voice after we release some title update notes, give our community, 72 hours to give us feedback in that platform, consolidate all the information, get it to our developers. We're trying to find like the best strategy. More details on Madden Voice as we get closer to launch. We're working through those details over the next week or so. Trying to make sure that we've covered everything, man. But we hear you guys. There's still a lot more to come regarding Fixed Madden franchise. There's a lot of updates that need to happen in that space. We'll make sure to get that out to you guys. That's another project that I'm working with Not Gibbs on. We'll get that information out there. But I really do appreciate all you guys coming.
Akuda was a good call.
I'm going to go ahead and throw this graphic up there, cycle through some things. Jake, feel free to mute. We'll chat here in a minute. I'm going to let it run for a couple of minutes.
He's just trying to get to
with
8.
some beautiful
You get a bonus,
elevator
Kralo?
music.
What's going on?
But Jake, I appreciate you coming by, man. Always a pleasure.
Yeah,
that was a great stream.
Thanks again. Thanks to the community. Shout out to the team. Awesome job. Can't wait.
All right, so there's that. Let's put on some of this beautiful music for you guys.
All right. Hold up.
Yeah, it's very calming and soothing.
Who
Really
do you want to go
appreciate
take a
all you
look at
guys
really
coming
quick?
by. Again,
I don't have
go
a
check
ton of
out
time. We're not doing a deep dive here.
/21/players. They're going to go ahead and have all that stuff out there. Make sure to follow at Mudhead on Twitter. They'll tweet it out. We'll retweet them just everywhere so everyone knows. Appreciate you guys coming through.
I think we're good.
Yeah, but again, there is a lot of information that we didn't talk about today.
All right. Let's go take a look at this. Oh, boys, it's live. We're live. Everything is legit now. So the 88s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7. I can't count. 7 88s. Who do you want to go take a look at? West Virginia. All right. Yeah. Dude, that was a great stream. I am very happy with that stream. Isaiah. Oh, he's the rookie master. Oh, they should have gone over that. Nope, no card art yet. Hold up. I'm going to take a quick screenshot of this and tweet this out before anybody else. I'm sure somebody else has already put it out, but we're going to do it too. Who do you want to go take a look at on here? That Isaiah Simmons is going to be nasty. Okay, let's go back here really quick. Y'all can see everything, right? Here's my Abercrombie kids that I'm getting an ad for some reason. I'm going to get demonetized. You can go, Carlitos. Feel free to go if you don't look. I'm just doing a quick little look. I got to go. Oh, my God. Oh, they got to fix that. We're doing a quick little look here. A lot of these guys we've actually already seen because they released today. they have 32 of this guy, and they're going to have Derrick Henry just thrown in the middle there. EA going to EA, I guess. Oh, my God. Come on now. Freaking amateur hour. 90 speed on Simmons. What, you think that's too high or too low? Hey, B Kindle, how did your stream go, buddy? If y'all don't follow my guy B Kindle, he's just chatted it up. Go ahead and go subscribe to him. He is another Madden YouTuber. He's not as good looking as me, but okay. Now that we got past all the freaking team captains, that is so stupid, man. Again, we knew a lot of these. We got some good guys in here. Oh, no, were you saying Simmons is too fast or too slow? Because 90 speed is insane, man. That's fast. Chris Jones, Nick Chubb. We got Lamar. So Lamar Jackson here is going to be broken, y'all. 88 speed on an 8. So you get that boosted up to 89 already with just the power up. With Sprinter, you should be able to get it up to, assuming everything is the same, which they didn't go over all the chemistries and stuff. Probably 90 or 91 speed day one. That's insane. If y'all didn't know, the pre-order bonuses, all that stuff, the Lamar Jackson, the packs, all that stuff, you will not be getting that until the 25th. I'm almost positive about that. So if you don't get your Lamar Jackson and an Elite pack, just be aware of that. You're not better looking, B. Kendall. You crazy, man. You're from Wisconsin. Go eat your cheese. It's going pretty good. We just watched the stream. We had a good time. We were just looking at some of these cards. I do have to sign off pretty quickly, guys, because I have to go put my daughter to sleep. Otherwise, my wife will whoop my butt. I'm on YouTube. I got to watch the swearing. I'm on YouTube. Wait, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? Hold up. What the hell is this? They have 2 Lamar Jacksons. Is this just different card art? Oh, is the only difference that this thing is Nat? Because they look like they both go into the power-up. And they are the exact same card. Okay. Alright. So I guess it's just a different card art. I don't know really. It's a different card, technically. That's kind of odd. That would have pissed me off so much if the card that you got for free did not go into the power-up. I know they gave you the power-up, but they could have done some pulled some word crap there. No. Yeah, no, I know it's the one you get for the pre-order, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't some other nonsense. AP. Guys, this card looks sneaky good here. 86 speed for a free 85 overall running back. Not bad at all. Hold on, let me look at some of his other ones. I wanted to go look at CMC, actually, so let me do that after this. Is this... Where the hell are all his stats? Alright, well, I mean, these are the only ones that matter, I guess. Is the pre-order a nat? Yes, it looks like it is a nat. They're not going to let the market be flooded day one with people selling a Lamar Jackson, because it would start out at 200,000 coins, and as soon as everyone realized it was nat, or not nat, everyone would sell it, and it would be worth like 80,000 coins, and it would be dumb. So, yeah, that's definitely going to be nat. Just like all of these, the NFL Epics, anything that you can get for free that easily, like the Jack Youngblood, that's a pretty good card, is going to be nat. All the fantasy packs are probably going to be nat as well. My thoughts on everything announced, B. Kendall. I liked it, man. I liked it a lot. I was very happy with that stream. They rambled on for about 10 to 15 minutes at the beginning, and I was about to rip my friggin' hair out because I was so pissed that they were just talking. But it was really good. I liked the card art. I liked this because all they were showing us, I don't know whose idea it was to show us the 50-50. This looks so much better, and I like the expansion on it. Card art doesn't even matter, but I like it a lot. Obviously no trucking, changing. Dude, this card's gonna be nasty. This card's gonna be nasty. The only thing he's lacking is that top end speed. But what does he have? Where's his catching? 78 catching for a running back day one. That's good, y'all. That's a good card. We're going to be having a lot of videos come out soon, guys. We're going to be having a lot going over database stuff, best players, now that we have Ultimate Team news strategies. I've had general strategy videos. We're going to get more specific now, and then when the game comes out, we'll get even more specific. So if you're not subscribed already, make sure you do that. Hit that bell icon if you do want to see all my videos as soon as they come out. Some of them are time sensitive, some of them aren't. You can watch anytime during the year. But I'm very excited. If y'all couldn't tell, I'm super excited for Madden 21. But thank y'all so much for stopping by. Everyone who has come and stopped by, thank y'all very, very much. I appreciate all y'all coming by here. And I'm looking forward to grinding out Madden 21 with y'all. But yeah, with that said, guys, I'm going to kill the stream here. Go follow me on Twitter if you're not already. I'm going to be tweeting out some stuff, following this up with some more details if you missed it. We're going to go through the database. Lots of videos, guys. They're all coming. So talk to y'all later. I will see y'all.